वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। सो आज हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं सब्जेक्ट नॉलेज मतलब केमिस्ट्री के बारे में HPCL का जो प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर का। तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज व्हिच वन ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कंपाउंड विल नॉट यील्ड बेंजोइक एसिड ऑन विगोरियस ऑक्सीडेशन। मतलब ये जो कंपाउंड दिया हुआ है वो कौन सा अगर हम ऑक्सीडेशन करें केमिनोपर के साथ सो बेंजोइक एसिड प्रोड्यूस नहीं करेगा। तो बेसिकली टर्ट ब्यूटाइल बेंजीन, इसका जो स्ट्रक्चर है ये टर्ट ब्यूटाइल ग्रुप कनेक्टेड है। सो देयर इज नो अल्फा हाइड्रोजन, मीन्स इन दिस पोजिशन no hydrogen is present, so this will not able to do the oxidation, so option A is correct. On the other hand, the ethyl benzene, it can do the oxidation. Ethyl benzene, here 2 hydrogen atom are present, so it can do the oxidation and convert to the benzoic acid. Similarly for this also in propyl and cumene also do the thing. So option A is correct. In the question number 2, the ligand system in the vitamin B12 is best described as we know that vitamin B12 contains the choline ring. So option D is correct. According to the molecular orbital theory, oxygen molecule is oxygen. We know this is a paramagnetic. Why? Because this has 16 electron. If we write the electronic configuration of oxygen, this is sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, sigma 2pz2, then pi 2px is equals to pi 2py, then this is 2, this is 2, so total number of electron, this is 8, 14. After that the pi star 1 equals to pi star 1 for this both orbital, so this is a paramagnetic compound. The question number 4, in the steam distillation the compound to be separated should, so let's see. So during steam distillation, if the compound is if the solid is soluble in water, it will generate a solution. So solution it will not follow the Raoult's law. Okay, so it is not following this, and after adding the solute, the temperature of boiling temperature is increases, so we want to lower the temperature instead of increasing. So B react with the water to form a volatile product. Solute must be inert. If it is interacting with the water, then the chemical change occurs, so that is not also good for steam distillation. So the compound has a high boiling point and be immiscible with the water, so that is a true statement. When it is immiscible, then the distillation is easy. When both the liquid are immiscible, then it will exert its own vapor pressure, so that will be easy for steam distillation. The vapor pressure of the solution or the total is equals to vapor pressure of the water plus vapor pressure of the organic solution, organic phase and water phase. So basically if we mix both, then to reach 1 atm it is easy if it has a high boiling point. So if the organic phase have high boiling point, so it is easy to separate from the water phase. So option C is correct. In the question number 5, read the following statement carefully and select the correct option. Statement 1 is that when benzene is treated with the N-propyl chloride, benzene is treated with the N-propyl chloride in presence of the AlCl3, isopropyl benzene is formed as the major product. That is true, because after releasing this, means when it is AlCl3 and this is plus, it will release and this will generate a primary cation, and the hydrogen rearrangement takes place and it will generate a secondary carbocation, and then the benzene will attack this secondary cation to give this product. Statement 2, the N-propyl carbocation formed during the reaction rearranges to the most stable secondary carbon before electrophilic substitution occurs. That is true. So both statements are true, and statement 2 is the correct explanation of 1. In the question number 6, equivolume of the 0.01 molar of AgNO3 and this molar of NaCl aqueous solutions are mixed. The solubility product of the AgCl is this. Which of the following is the correct regarding the feasibility of precipitation reaction? For precipitation, we know the condition that the ionic product must be greater than the Ksp. So the Ksp already given, we have to determine the ionic product. So let's determine it. AgNO3. Here the Ksp of the AgCl is given. So when it is react with the NaCl, it will generate the AgCl plus NaNO3. So this will form the precipitate. So the ionic product will be Ag plus Cl minus. Its concentration is given 10 to the power minus 2. Its concentration 5 into 10 to the power minus 4. Okay. So Ki is equals to concentration of Ag plus concentration of Cl minus, and that is equals to 5 into 10 to the power minus 6. That is much greater than the Ksp. So precipitation occurs because ionic product is exceeds of Ksp. A is correct. In the question number 7, consider the linear combination of the two atomic orbitals psi s I b. The overlap integral is this, non-zero, mean S is non-zero. Okay, which of the following is true? So basically, if the S is equals to not equals to 0, means there is overlap happening, and more the value of S, more the overlap, and stronger the interaction and larger will be the splitting. So this is if the atomic orbital, then the splitting between the bonding and anti-bonding MO. This is BMO and this is ABMO. So bonding and anti-bonding orbital, the splitting is higher if the overlap integral is high. So option A is correct. The energy difference between the bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbital is increases. The molecular do not form due to the orthogonality. That is not true. Molecular orbital are formed. The anti-bonding orbital lower energy. No, that is not true. Always anti-bonding orbital higher energy than the bonding. The molecular orbital form are degenerate. That is not true. So option A is correct. In the question number 8, which hybridization correspond to the trigonal bipyramidal geometry, TBP? So TBP, we know that DSP3 geometry, because total 5 coordination number, and this is 3, 4, 5. Option B is correct. This is octahedral, this is tetrahedral, and SP2 is linear geometry. Question number 9. Which reagent commonly used for the detection of carbonyl group in the aldehydes and the ketone? So the Tollens reagent, this is used for the identifying the aldehyde. Okay, Tollens reagent, carbonyl group contains the carbonyl groups contains ketone plus aldehyde. So Tollens reagent is good for identifying the aldehyde. Bromine water is used for the basically unsaturation present in some phenols or anilines, and bromine water can detect the aldehyde also. 2,4-DNP, that is responsible for both. So C is correct answer. Failing solution. So basically identification of the aldehyde, especially the aliphatic aldehyde, it will determine. In the question number 10, which requirement ensures accuracy in the redox titration? So to give a redox titration accurate result, the reaction must be fast, so that the equilibrium will reach quickly, and specific in nature. Specific means there is no side reaction. Okay, so the third condition is that ideally it is completed, and this is a stoichiometric as well, means if we take 2 mole of A plus 3 mole of B, it will give 3 mole of C. So all the stoichiometry is perfectly balanced and it will give the completion. So option D is correct. And white precipitate that not needed in the always redox titration. This is also not required visible gas. In the question number 11, what is the characteristic shape of the conductometric titration curve in strong acid versus strong base? We know that this is a conductometric curve, so this is strong acid, strong base, so this is V shape. Option D is correct. In the question number 12, which of the following correctly describe the adsorption? Adsorption is a surface phenomenon, so uniform distribution of one substance into another, no, that is absorption. And accumulation of molecule on the surface of a solid or liquid, that is true, this is adsorption. In the question number 13, on strong heating above 150 degrees centigrade, aspirin undergoes thermal decomposition to yield which of the following? So at high temperature, aspirin, so aspirin structure is this, acetyl salicylic acid, this is aspirin. So basically when high heat condition is applied, this lone pair can attack here and this bond can break, so this will be OH and this oxygen like this, and then another OH molecule will attack there and it will release, so it will generate the COH, this is salicylic acid, plus we will get the acetic acid. So option B is correct. In the question number 14, if a liquid raises its height by h in a capillary, which type of intermolecular forces primarily responsible? So for the capillary action, we know that cohesive and adhesive force is responsible. So option D is correct. So cohesive force is between the same molecule, a kind of, an adhesive force between different molecule. In the question number 15, how is the retention factor value defined in a paper chromatography? So suppose this is a chromatographic paper, then here the sample loading takes place. So this, let's take, this is a beaker and the water or solvent level is here. So this solvent will go upward of the paper. So finally suppose it reach this position. This is the solvent distance. And after that we add the sample here, and when this solvent again flow, it will push the sample in the upward direction. Suppose sample reach this position. So the retention factor RF is equals to distance traveled by the solute divided by distance traveled by the solvent. Means this distance from this is R1 and this R2. So R1 upon R2. This is a retention factor. Option A is correct. In the question number 16, the statistical expression for the entropy, we know that S is equals to K ln W. Option A is correct. What is the primary function of the myoglobin in the cardiac skeletal muscle? It will store oxygen and it will deliver it when it is needed. So facilitating the oxygen delivery, transporting glucose tissue, no. Transmitting nerve impulse, no. Breaking down fatty, no. Option A is most appropriate. When the pressure of a equilibrium system, this is increased by decreasing the volume of the container at the constant temperature, the equilibrium will be. So we are increasing the pressure and decreasing the volume, so the equilibrium will shift that direction where the number of moles will decreasing. So here the total, in the reactant side the total number of moles is 4 and the product side total number of moles is 2. So this will shift from the 4 to 2. So in the right hand direction, so shift towards the product side. Option B is correct. In the question number 19, why does myoglobin bind oxygen more effectively than the hemoglobin at the low oxygen pressure? So this is a lungs, here it will take the oxygen and hemoglobin comes here and it will uptake the oxygen and it will go to the muscle tissue, and there MB is present, means myoglobin is present, and it will deliver 4 mole of oxygen because total 4 unit is present. So the binding capability of the myoglobin is greater than the hemoglobin because hemoglobin works on a cooperative effect. COOPRATIV cooperativity effect, it will show hemoglobin, means there are 4 unit of hem unit is present. If the uptake of one unit occurs, then it will enforce other unit for better uptake. Similar for releasing purpose also, if one molecule will release one oxygen, then the whole system will release one oxygen by each. So that's like it occurs. So myoglobin does not exhibit coagulability, allowing strong binding at low pressure. That is true, because in the lungs the oxygen pressure is high because we are directly taking oxygen from atmosphere, and in the muscle the oxygen pressure is low. So option B is correct. In the question number 20, under which condition does the partition law remain valid? So according to the Nernst distribution law or partition law, a solute will distribute itself between the two immiscible solvents at constant temperature. So distribution constant is equals to C1 by C2, means its concentration in the solvent 1 and divided by concentration in the solvent 2. So valid if the solid is completely insoluble in, no, that is not true. To partition among the different solvent, it must be present in both. Solute undergoes dissociation, no, it will not dissociate. Solute undergoes association, no. Solute exists in the same molecular state in the both solvent. Option D is more appropriate. Which reagent is used in the commercial preparation of Epsom salt from the magnesium carbonate? So Epsom salt formula will be MgSO4 7H2O. So the preparation is that if we treat MgCO3 with the H2SO4, it will generate MgSO4 plus CO2 plus H2O. So if we crystallize this, it will form the Epsom salt, okay, with containing this. So correct answer will be sulfuric acid. Which of the following is an example of spontaneous process? So the first option is the compression of a gas without external work. So gas is compressing, but the nature of gas is expanding, because if we put a volume this and put a gas, it will expand throughout the cylinder. So this is not a spontaneous process. Electrolysis of water without electricity. So in the electrolysis we need to supply electricity, then the spontaneous reaction takes place. Water flowing uphill, no, water always flow down the hill. Ice melting at room temperature, that is true. When it is going to the liquid state, it will increasing the entropy of the system. So that's why it is a spontaneous process. So option D is correct. In the question number 23, which of the following statement correctly describe the nucleus of atom? It is a neutral, not a neutral. It is a positively charged, yes, and contains most of the mass. That is true. Option B is correct. In the question number 24, in the drop weight method, which physical property of the liquid determines the maximum weight a drop can have before detaches from the capillary? So drop weight method, that is used for the measure of surface tension. Surface tension is gamma. We can determine this. So basically, suppose this is a drop. It will detach from a system when its weight, that is mg, is greater than the upward force of due to the surface tension. So two opposing force, one is for the surface tension, W is equals to 2 pi gamma r. That is force acting on the upward, and lower the mg force will acting. Force that is holding, that is the surface tension. Option C is correct. And this is called Tate's law. TATS law. So the option C is correct. In the question number 25, which of the following metals is most commonly associated with the neurotoxic effect in the humans and wildlife? So mercury is infamous for this, because mercury, specifically if we say this is methyl mercury, this is a potent neurotoxin and it can damage the central nervous system. So A is correct. Question number 26, which gas is produced when primary aliphatic amines reacts with the nitrous acid? Suppose primary aliphatic amine, this is when this will reacts to HNO2, it will generate the diazonium chloride N2 plus Cl minus, but here nothing is given, so it will go further step. In presence of H2O, R bond OH plus, it will generate the N2 gas plus HCl. So nitrogen gas, option D is correct. Question number 27. Which one of the following are both colored and paramagnetic? Zn2 plus, that is field D2, D10, field D10 and S1 system. Okay. Calcium 2 plus, this is D0 system. Copper plus, this is D10 system. Fe2 plus, this is D6 system. Means DD transition only in Fe possible, and that will give the color in the iron. Iron generally 2 plus exists in a high spin state, so D6 high spin is paramagnetic. Other can be paramagnetic, but the color arises due to the DD transition in the visible range, and that is happen for the iron only. In the question number 28, which of the following transformation can be carried out by using the pyridinium chlorochromate as a reagent? So PCC, we know that it will generally convert the alcohol. Suppose this is a primary alcohol to the aldehyde, R bond CHO. So alkene diol not primary alcohol to carbon, no, not that much powerful to convert it to carboxylic acid. Option C is correct. Primary alcohol to aldehyde, ketone to alcohol, no. So option C is correct. In the question number 29, the depression of freezing point of 1 molar sucrose, 1 molar K2SO4, 1 molar NaCl, same solvent, same to add in the ratio. So depression of freezing point is a colligative property, and colligative property is depends upon the number of constituents are present. So basically in the sucrose, this is non-dissociative. So the I value is equals to 1. For K2SO4, total number of ions, this is 2K plus SO4 2 minus. So 3, I value is 3. For NaCl, this is 2. So 1 is to 3 is to 2. Option C is correct. In the question number 30, which of the following essential to determine the rate constant experimentally? To determine rate constant experimentally, we know that the first law, second law, third law, we draw a plot concentration versus time. Any of the law, zero law, this is C0 minus C is equals to KT. First law, this is KT is equals to ln C0 by C. So this is temperature versus concentration. So option B is correct.